Just noise, no mess. Good morning again, everybody. So let's collect ourselves and take some nice deep breaths. We're going to do three in a row with none of me in between. So I invite us to breathe in as deeply as we can, exhale as much as we can, and make a noise on the way out. So you guys generally know what this looks like. So deep breath in. Deep breath in. And one more really nice deep breath. It just feels so cozy. So our favorite part of the day, announcements. Yay, the crowd roars. Number one announcement for today is, well, happy Easter, of course. We are coming upon our annual membership. So we're going to be having our annual meeting on the 30th. Disregard the notice that you just got that says May 30th. It's April 30th. And that'll be the diversity night for that night. Will be our annual meeting and a potluck. But while you're here today, we have to fill out every year new membership forms. So when we're trying to get as much technically savvy as we can by entering these into the big spreadsheet, so we have them for easier access. So renew your membership form, and if you've never been here before, it's your first time, welcome, and fill out a membership form. We have some brochures out there too that you can take with you. There's some out there. These will be here afterwards. Before you leave today, please fill them out. So have I said that enough? Okay. This is serious homework for this because it's very important for not only that we know who our community is, but it's important for our 501c, or the C3PO and all that fun stuff. So today we're celebrating Easter, New Beginnings, and we have a very special guest singer. So that's going to be a joy that we have today. Miss Suzanne's going to be singing for us. Yay! Yeah. Let's slow down, Mark. Tonight, we're taking the night off for diversity night. A lot of people have picnics. I'm going to go over to my sister's house, and a lot of people have stuff that they're going to do. So we're just going to take the night off for diversity night. Next week is Earth Day is on Saturday itself, right? So we're going to do a celebration of that all day. My talk is going to be a symphony of nature, and it's going to revolve around nature and a symphony. And then at night, we have our, you like that, right? And at night, we have our very own Mrs. Becky. And the title of your talk is?
Flying High, the Status, Biology, and Beauty of Eagles.
It's going to be groovy. I mean, this is what Becky does for a living. It's her passion. It's beyond her passion. It shows up in her life in many different ways. So a home talk me awesome. I'm very looking forward to it.
And the pictures are going to be amazing because when we do our Eagle survey out of Kennedy Space Center, there's a guy that flies with us that has a camera. The lens is like, one of these lens-indie things, right? And he's got amazing pictures. So it's going to be cool.
Cool. And then do we have a plan for the next Sunday?
That would be the
Oh, yeah. No, it won't, because we have the workshop first. Oh, yeah, never mind. I'll get my brain back later. So, yes, that'll be the annual meeting, and I don't know what the talk is yet, so that'll be a surprise. So, Rachel brought this in, and I asked her if she wanted me to announce it. Titusville High School is presenting a musical. I guess that's the title, Party North Crashing. Huh? Oh, now that makes more sense. I'm like, Party North, because the whole time I've read this, I've seen North instead of Worth. Yeah, trifocals. That makes more sense. Now I'm going. So party. She said it's a family-friendly show. The kids may not get into it, but it's family-friendly. It's not a long show. It's a musical. So, and then the play times are Friday at 7, which is the weekend of the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Saturday the 29th at 7, and Sunday the matinees at 2 p.m. So if you do the Sunday thing, you'll be able to come to here in the morning, go to that musical, and then come back for diversity night annual meeting. Fun-filled day. $7 general admission, $5 for students with ID. So we're going to put this out there if anybody wants to just copy the information. There's websites, there's phone numbers, there's Facebook stuff. So I'm going to put this out front for later, and Rachel says it sounds like a really fun time. So if you're into high school plays, want to give you, and it's not a real long one. So she said you're not going to be like bored sitting there for it. It's about an hour and a half, she said, tops. So, invite you to do that. I think we're done with announcements. Cool. Then I don't need this anymore. Oh. Huh? Yes. So, again, and again, happy Easter. Happy New Beginnings Day. Happy Pasqualino Day. And you're like, what? It's like, since I've been here anyway, every Easter, I always tell the story of what my name means. And Pasquale in Italian means Paschal, that Paschal feast. And Eno means little. So my name means Little Easter. And way back when, my great grandfather was left on a convent doorstep on Easter morning, and the nun came out and went, "Oh, Pasqualino, Little Easter," and that's how we got our family name. So beyond that, who knows who I am? But although as I was looking at family tree, there's actually a Donato somewhere in our family, and that's just Scott's name with an O at the end, Donato. So no accidents that we're brothers. But my name means little new beginnings. Hey, so this is a celebration for my family. It's actually a celebration day. But as we're coming into the season, and I've been marrying these last 4 talks that I've done, and I started with, so we're going to do a quick review, with past lives, present lives, and the dimensions of you. And we're talking about incarnation, and we really summed it up into the aspects of, instead of time being chronological and stacked like we were taught perhaps when we were younger, that it's on a linear plane and it's all connectable all right now. And it depends what window you're seeing through. That depends upon what experience you experience. It's just a matter of looking through different windows, and that's the experience of you. And before we go into finding out, and I kept using the example of our Genghis Khan cells, of our Joan of Arc cells, and delve into who was I in a past life, even though we all are it all. We went into the next week of celebrating the you and me. And it's like, well, why don't we check out the carnations that we do meet in this here and now? And if we can celebrate everything about our brother and sister, that's that way for us to realize that we are all in this carnation together. I'm just experiencing it through Markness, as you're experiencing through Judiness and Kimness and Marginess and so on. And that you're adding to the all that is. And when I celebrate you, get to experience life through you. I've always said there's 7.5 billion people on the planet, and as this incarnation is Mark Pasqualino, I'm not going to get to meet them all. But when I celebrate the you and me, I do get to through you and you and you. Because somewhere you've met, remember that old, was it a Bell South commercial? And they told 4 friends, and they told 4 friends, and they told 4 friends. So it's the same thing as we have experienced different things. I've never been to India, but I know people who have, and they've shared, and I'm so visual that when they've shared things with me, I've been able to see it, which has actually dissuaded me from going. Oh, and namaste. But it's understanding that through them and through the wonders that they felt, even the smelly streets and the awesome celebration, all of it, I got to experience it. And if you ever drive by the Indian River in the summer and you smell that seaweed smell, and it may seem foul, but move away and then come back, and it's a friendly smell. So it's how you're choosing to experience it all. And knowing that as we celebrate the you and me, we do get to truly experience the all that is. And then the more, as we talk next week with this nature part of it, the more you let yourself experience your critter brothers and sisters and your plant people brothers and sisters, that's when we really start getting in touch with that oneness and know that only now exists. So following that, we moved into the next week, and as we led into the season, I kept marrying all these talks together of, all right, well, if I want to have a change, then what self in me am I going to have to let go of? Who am I going to have to say goodbye to? Who gets betrayed? And that moved us into Holy Week, where the story of Jesus as it goes comes into Jerusalem, and Judas, his best friend, is freaking out with all this airy-fairy stuff he's talking about. He's like, hey man, we're occupied in this. Don't speak too loud. They're going to get us. They're going to kill us. And it can be metaphorically representative of that duality, that circle in us of learning something new and having to let go of what we knew right before because it's no longer valid in our life. And it's kind of like a betrayal of an old self. Somebody used a really cool example last week, and I won't say names, but they shared it with us. And one of the things that they said would betray them if they were to say goodbye to one aspect to get to a change, and instead I'd be betraying my anxiety. And I'm like, right on, exactly. Because we have to let go of that to move on. So as we come into today and what today is about and what Christ represented, new beginnings, a new way, a new day, a new way. So metaphysically, as most people, that's what we are, a metaphysical community, believe in laws of deliberate creation, understand that there are different dimensions, understand that we're manifesting things. We hear in different mantras throughout cultures, all throughout time, that believing is seeing. Not that seeing is believing that we first thought, well, I see it now, I know it's real. That as I believe it, and I will see it, I will manifest it. Well, that's what these new changes and what this whole thing is all about. Jesus came in from the east. He's the messenger of the light. He took what was in the darkness into form. And because of the fact that so many people believe this story, it may have manifested exactly like the Bible said. You may have evolved to a different understanding in your own being, and for you, that is what has manifested. Because under the rules of all that is, whatever you believe becomes. So we know the 100th monkey syndrome of we're all connected, we're all one mind, one brain. So think about how many different people are believing in this story verbatim. By virtue of that, it becomes real and magical for them. And as we look around, all our brothers and sisters across the world that celebrate the earth walk of the one they call Jesus and what he represented, it creates magic for them. And that's what we're talking about. That magic, that new beginning, that being able to come and rise from the ashes and take flight. One of the early Christian symbols before they made that the symbol for Christianity, they toyed around with the phoenix rising as a symbol for Christianity. And it's not taught in mainstream Christianity, but if you look at the history and the dogma of all the pagan rituals and yada, 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 that was one of the first symbols that came up. Well, in understanding that phoenix rising, we know that something did die. It burned, it cindered, it was over. It's a completely end of a cycle. But then that rebirth happens. That rebirth, that new beginning, that Pasqualino for me. And then we have an opportunity to completely build anew. So as we look at all that is going around us, whatever incarnation you're focusing on, you're not right and you're not wrong, and you're right all the time. Everything that you experience is 100% right. Now do you want it to shift? Last week we did a lot of the saying goodbyes. You know, a little bit of owl medicine, change. People think of it as an omen of death, and in a way it is. One of the things I have been saying when it comes to breath work and our breath, that every single opportunity, every single moment we have an opportunity to completely start over. And when we exhale and go, we must acknowledge that is the death. That is the end of something. It's an end of a moment. It's the end of a cycle. It's the end of the oxygen that was in me and oxygenated my blood, and it's now transformed to something else, maybe carbon dioxide, some other gases. And it's a new beginning for something else because energy keeps moving on. But when I do that and can honor that moment and stand in every second of nowness, when I exhale and let it be, then that very next breath is a whole brand new life. Has to be by virtue of everything that we say we believe. As we're evolving in our own metaphysics and awakening, whatever you want to call it, I'm getting away from New Age and New Thought because they're becoming dogmatic religion. And I'm like, I'm losing all my isms. Thank you. Okay, we're done. I've been clapped for it. No, I'm teasing. But it's losing our religion along the way. That's what we're doing as this community, owning it more and more as a metaphysical community, and saying, whatever you believe, that diversity still stands. Bring it in here. If you're a Christian, if you're a Buddhist, if you're a Muslim, whatever flavor that you may be, come bring it in here anyway. We're going to discuss the metaphysical aspects of those teachings. That's my job. That's for me. That's my mission. That's what I'm here to do. Part of what I'm here to do for me, that I know consciously a purpose in the world. I can talk with anybody from the biker to the nun and anywhere in between, because I can relate to who they are and what they're hanging out in belief systems. It doesn't mean that I'm being two-faced or a chameleon. It means I'm becoming one with them. I can choose to believe something else, and it's like my own evolution has happened. I had to play this, put the Christians away game before I could re-embrace them, because there was hurt in there. There was pain in there for me. I got lied to by virtue of the evolution that happened in this person. There was a betrayal. What? None of that's true. It's an inside job, and I'm creating it. I thought it was the guy in the sky with the beard and stuff that said, yes, you can have it, and no, you can't. With all the praying that goes on through sports alone, you would think, Jesus, who's going to ever win? Whose side is God on? So, it's like we can make fun of that place, but for some people, when they are and they're doing their personal best, and they're just about to go and kick the field goal, be the quarterback, go up to base, be the basketball player, fill in the blank, and they go and they do or whatever they do, magic is happening for them, and I know it. And who am I to scoff at it anymore, when what that guy or girl just did is go inside of them and tap into the God within the way they knew how. Well, as we have these new beginnings for us, we're going to always let go of something and pick something new up. So this week, what I want to celebrate is that new beginning. It's like, I'll get new dentures soon. But understanding too that as we have this new beginning, to attach it to the things that you said you let go of last week and contemplated. We also mixed in with this. I watched this documentary called The Moses Code. I really invite people to watch this. It's an hour long, and it's really groovy, because way, way, way back when, as we learned the lesson of Moses, he saw the burning bush and was told the name of God, when God said to him, I am that I am. And in this little documentary, it said we metaphysically, and all in between, missed the boat that was the code. That was the manifestation code from Abraham and all the different teachers that teach us how to manifest, that we had the accent on the wrong syllable, so to speak, and putting a comma in, I am that, comma, I am. So that whenever we look at and see people in our lives, especially though it's easiest to recognize in the ones that we're judging, that's where I had to start. Because as soon as I'm like, that bonehead driver, you can see where I'm the weakest in traffic. But as I started going, I am that bonehead driver, comma, I am. I mean, I wrote that thing when I was sick, and read it someday. It's like I am. It's the same premise of I am everything. I am nothing. I am everything at all. I am the victim. I am the brute. I am the bully. I'm the one. I'm the lover. I am the love. It's the same thing. So as we look at the statement of I am that I am, and putting that comma and just say I am that great guy Scott. I am. And then when I see that bonehead, I'm like, I am that bonehead. I am. And it's been softening me. Because I keep making this joke about being a metaphysical misanthrope. Loving all of mankind, but hating people. It's like, and knowing that in our humanness, that's going to show up. And what new beginning do I want? Even if it's like if you want to grade yourself, I'm 80% loving and 20%, apathetic. But so if I want to change, maybe I want to be 81% loving and 19% apathetic. Or maybe I want to be 80% apathetic, 20% loving. Do you ever give yourself permission to do that? Apathy is a break. especially for codependent people. It gives you that opportunity to just breathe and go, I don't care about anything. Thank goodness, otherwise you'd probably explode. Because I've been in that codependent moment. So, but I used to feel bad about apathy and thought it was, thought it was bad, thought it was shameful, thought I was not loving. It's like maybe apathy was a gift of loving for me because I was just carrying so much that I got overwhelmed in it. And I needed to stop, and I needed to say goodbye to caring for a moment, say hello to apathy. And then there's another person in me that wanted to change again. So I had to say goodbye to apathy and say hello again to caring. And when we just, we likened it with the Beatles. You say goodbye and I say hello. And we're doing that all the time. To own it and acknowledge it on purpose lets us have that new beginning without any guilt because we've already let go of the past freely. Yes, I was that. I am that apathetic guy. I am. Be in it a moment and then move on to the next. We've done a lot of giveaway talks here, and I learned an additional lesson in giveaway and in receiving from a person that came and did lodge at Scott and Becky's house called Krishna Guadalupe. And he was talking about receiving something, as whether you wanted it or not. And there's so many times that, somebody will give you something and you're like, oh, no, thanks, I can't use that. And he's like, oh, I don't know why I'm giving him or whatever. He's like, receive it first. Take it in. Thank you. Receive it. Let it in. Embrace the gift. And then go, I may know someone who this may serve better. Or, this just doesn't serve me. Pay this forward to someone else. But you didn't diss the giver. You didn't disrespect the gift and the intention behind it. And you honored the gift. You honored the giving. You honored the receiving of it. And the same thing happens with that Christ light energy. Go figure. When someone comes to you and says, I want to offer you love, you always have a choice. Take it in first. And then, whatever the form the love came in, hey, I'd like to help you with that project. Take it in. And then say yes or no. It's about really learning how to receive the gifts. So even in the aspect of what Jesus talked about, if we could take in all those morsels of wisdom as a gift and then take back out and give to others, there's lots of people who want that. Give it to them back in a good way instead of, oh, you Christian, you don't know anything. It's like, why would you yell at the person who's sleeping till 10 when you got up at 5? Just because they're sleeping till 10. We all awaken at a different level and a different time. So understand that that's part of your new beginning, is awakening into a place of getting up with people at 5 and hanging out with them. Leave the people that are sleeping till 10 alone. They'll have their new awakening and their new beginning in their time. So if we could all let go of the judgments that we have with how each other is waking up, back to that, if I celebrate the you and me, whatever you do is going to be okay. And if I'm really going with the flow of the show and me, I'm only going to create positive experiences with people. So I don't have to worry about if you act out. In my movie, you won't. Because I've surrendered to that peace that we sing about every day. I've chosen it as a gift, and I've given it freely. And then my new beginning can be whatever I want it to be. So this week, I wanted to do a couple different things to bring that into a metaphysical place or a meditative place within you that you can bring into form. So we as the pod are here, right? We're here in the now, but yet at the same time, we are allowed to have new beginnings, just like everyone else. I was saying a couple weeks ago as I was leading into this talk that the way the Julian calendar is set up doesn't even make sense, because this should be the new year. This is when everything starts over. This is what Esther's, it's all pagan actually, rituals of fertility and new beginnings and planting the seeds. So what seeds do you want to plant this year? So this plant represents the pod. And it's a lot, we have these plastic plants and they're pretty, but I've been missing having something alive in here. But what I wanted to do this year is everybody's going to be nurturing this with their love, with their dreams, with their wants for the pod. So we're going to go into, and just to cue Alex, get airy fairy music ready. We're going to have like a 10-minute meditation, and it's going to be a dual meditation. The first part of the meditation, what I'm asking you to do, is think of something that you want for the pod. What new beginning do you want for us as a community? Not these walls. Our surroundings may change. We as a group remain. The energy of who we are as a community, we can be under the tree out there or in a crosswalk walking together. That's the pod. That is us. We are the people of diversity. We are the ones that make it happen. We are the ones that are rippling this love out. And what do you want? What do you want to see new? Meditate upon that, and then you're going to be putting that into this plant in a little bit with us in a ceremony where, because this is bone dry, we're all going to be watering 1 teaspoon at a time, and in that teaspoon is going to be your prayers or wanting or vision for the pod. The second part of this is your new beginning, and everybody's going to get a seed packet. I want you to attach your new beginning to this plant. So as you take this home and plant it and pot it and put the dirt and water it, as you nurture this plant, you consciously know that you're nurturing whatever dream that you came up with, whatever new beginning that you want in your life. It's going to be different for all of us. Some may want a new career. Some may want a new car, a new lover, a new relationship, a new job. That's career. A new outlook, a new image, a new body, a new drum set. Oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is you want new, attach it to that plant. So let's take the next 10 minutes and let yourself have this meditation and listen to the music. Let it be a guide. And this is a very personal journey. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. And then we'll continue later. And when everyone's ready, take a nice, gentle breath and bring yourselves back. Everybody's all dreamy now. You just like looking at your colors when everybody's all dreamy like this. Because if you can see and everybody's got different gifts and feel, can you feel the shift in the energy of the room? And it was already wonderful. It's nice and serene. So as I was talking about all the different aspects of the last 4 weeks, we brought all the different dimensions into it. What I just invited you to do was step into a different dimension. And that's all we're doing. And you do it all the time. If you've been with the last few talks, we discover how every day we're shifting dimensions. So the question I'm really asking of you as you come up here is, what new dimension do you see for us as the New Way Pod? So the way this will simply work, and you can say this out loud or keep it to yourself, it's about intention. I invite everybody to say it out loud because whatever, that's who I am. But it doesn't, there's no rules with this. Simply get a spoonful of water and know that through that intention and through your feeding that you are nurturing this new plant, this new intention, this new dimension that the pod is walking into. You know, as we learn from the Master Jesus, from that sentence of I am the way, the truth, and the light, what way would you like to show? What truth would you like to show? And how would you like to show your light? Because we're all experiencing it differently and all together collectively. And I'm so happy to be able to share the way you experience the light coming out of you. Bring that diversity to it. Bring it out loud or bring it quietly with your intention. So one by one, just come on up and take a spoonful of our purple spoon. We picked a small one on purpose, so there's a lot of us here today. So if you wanted to start on this side just to make it fun. And then when you're done feeding and nurturing the plant, which is called a bromeliad, thank you, Miss Becky. You should have seen Rain Man trying to pick the plant out yesterday. And then grab whatever. There's just a assortment of different kinds of flower packets. Whatever's going to be for you. And I'll just get out of the way. So I know it's no secret that a mush. And as simple and elementary or sophomoric as that may have felt or looked, I don't know if you could feel the energy of what was going on, because everybody breathed life into this just now. And in your innocence and in your wonder, you breathe life into us so that we may continue in this new dimension of what we are. So as we take care of this plant together, knowing that we're all going to nurture it and water it probably once a week when we're here on Sundays. But what I really invite us to do is come speak that love into this plant and all the different wantings and visions that you see for us as a community with this. Because it did say thank you. It was receiving this water, and it was interesting when I got it yesterday, because I didn't plan that. I just got it. I'm like, wow, it's bone dry. Let me water it before I bring it. And it said, no, let the people water me. Let the people bring their love. Let the people bring their vision, bring their light, bring their wonder, and create this new dimension, this new day, this new beginning, this Pasqualino together. And to take these for you, and to know that every morning when you're watering your plant or being with it, that you're not just saying hello plant, but you're affirming what your thing was, what your new beginning was, what your new life, what your new dimension, whatever you want to call it, that new day, that new breath. And talk to your plant. Say, I'm going to be the best writer in the whole world. They're all going to love my books. And then I'm going to talk and talk and talk, because I have big lips. And people are going to come from miles around to hear me speak. And I'm going to nurture that. And I'm going to do more and more workshops with my brother, where you get more and more people turning their lights on, breathing whatever your dreams are into it. Let it have emotion. Let yourself have emotion when you're with your plant. If one of your tears fall into your plant, oh my goodness, do you know how much more that's going to help it grow and help your dream grow? Let's live this new dimension together, be it collectively in our community and individually with our plans for the newness, for the new year, planting the seeds of love, being the way, being the truth, and being the light, because there truly is a new world coming. And so it is. Ahom Taquiasin, happy Easter.